Two legends, two unforgettable finals matchups, one of the most dramatic redemption arcs in NBA history. Dirk Nowitzki and Dwyane Wade faced off in two finals that couldn't have been more different. Heartbreak for Dirk in 2006 and ultimate redemption in 2011. For Wade, it was a tale of rising to greatness and the evolution of a team that would become a dynasty. This is a story of resilience, revenge, and rewriting legacies. Let's dive into the journey that defined two careers and delivered one of the greatest arcs the NBA has ever seen. Before we get to the 2006 finals, let's rewind to see how the Dallas Mavericks built their championship contending team. By the summer of 2005, the Mavericks had traded away their NBA draft picks and made key roster moves to reshape the team. Michael Finley, a franchise cornerstone, was waived under the new Allen Houston rule. Veteran Doug Christie was signed but later waived due to injuries. Amid these changes, Dirk Nowitzki's star was rising. Led by first-year head coach Avery Johnson, the Mavericks fought fiercely during the regular season, finishing with a 60-22 record. Although they fell short of the Southwest Division title to the Spurs, they entered the playoffs as the fourth seed and carried high expectations. Dallas swept the Memphis Grizzlies in the first round and faced their rivals, the San Antonio Spurs, in a nail-biting 7-game series. Dirk Nowitzki's leadership moved them past the defending champions in overtime in Game 7. The Mavericks then defeated Steve Nash and the Phoenix Suns to earn their first NBA Finals berth in franchise history.
Mavericks headed to the NBA Finals for the first time in the 26-year history.
While the Mavericks were rising in the West, the Miami Heat were building a championship-caliber roster in the East. The Heat had already taken a giant leap forward in 2004 by acquiring Shaquille O'Neal in a blockbuster trade with the Lakers.
Remember this, 'cause I'm gonna bring a championship to Miami, I promise.
Paired with their young star Dwyane Wade, the Heat became an immediate contender. But after falling short in the 2005 Eastern Conference Finals against the Detroit Pistons, Pat Riley knew the team needed an overhaul. In the summer of 2005, Riley made bold moves to reshape the roster. He acquired veteran point guard Jason Williams, sharp shooting forward James Posey, and versatile scorer Antonio Walker in a trade. Riley also signed former Defensive Player of the Year Gary Payton. With his revamped roster, Riley stepped back into the coaching role mid-season, replacing Stan Van Gundy. The Heat started the 2005-2006 season inconsistently, but as the new pieces solidified, the team hit its stride. Miami finished the regular season second in the East with a 52-30 record and breezed through the playoffs. After dispatching Chicago and New Jersey, the Heat earned a rematch against Detroit in the Eastern Conference Finals. This time, Wade and Shaq overwhelmed the Pistons, leading Miami to its first ever NBA Finals.
History, 18 years in the league, the Miami Heat are off to the NBA championship. Hallelujah!
The stage was set, two hungry teams, both chasing their first NBA championship. The Mavericks came out strong, dominating the first two games at home and sparking championship celebrations across Dallas. But just when it seemed like the series was theirs, everything shifted in Game 3. The Mavericks blew a late double-digit lead in Game 3 thanks to a heroic 42-point performance by Wade. Dirk missed a critical free throw that could have tied the game, and from there Miami seized control of the series. Dwyane Wade delivered one of the most remarkable individual finals performances in NBA history, averaging 39 points per game over the next 4 games. The Mavericks never recovered. They lost Game 4 in a blowout, and Game 5 delivered more heartbreak. Wade again took over, hitting crucial shots to give Miami a 3-2 series lead. Game 6 saw more of the same. Dirk and the Mavericks started strong but couldn't withstand Wade's 36 points performance or Alonzo Mourning's defensive dominance. The Heat won their first ever championship, with Wade earning Finals MVP honors.
They win their first championship in franchise history.
Dirk was devastated, caught on camera kicking a stationary bike after Game 5. Mavericks owner Mark Cuban was fined $250,000 for his outburst, and Dirk was branded as a player who couldn't win on the biggest stage. For Wade, it was the moment he became a superstar.
We got our parade set up in Miami. It's gonna be the biggest parade ever. On this game football, we finna get down.
5 years later, both teams returned to the finals, but under vastly different circumstances. After another early playoff exit in 2010, the Mavericks began retooling their roster. Mark Cuban resigned Dirk Nowitzki to a 4-year, $80 million deal and made one of the most pivotal trades in franchise history, acquiring Tyson Chandler from the Charlotte Bobcats. Chandler's defensive presence transformed the Mavericks, anchoring their defense and giving the team the toughness they lacked in 2006. Despite mid-season injuries to Nowitzki and Caron Butler, the Mavericks finished with a 57-25 record, earning the third seed in the Western Conference. Once again, the skeptics doubted them. After blowing a 23-point lead in Game 4 against Portland, whispers of another playoff collapse began to surface. But this time, the Mavericks silenced their critics. They defeated Portland, swept the two-time defending champion Lakers, and eliminated the Thunder to reach the finals.
For the second time in franchise history, the Dallas Mavericks will play for the NBA championship. And 5 years after the fact, there's this matter of unfinished business.
Once again, the Miami Heat stood in their way, but this time with a new-look powerhouse team led by their big three: LeBron James, Dwyane Wade, and Chris Bosh. The journey of the 2010-2011 Heat began with a decision: LeBron James' highly controversial announcement to leave the Cleveland Cavaliers and join forces with Wade and Bosh in Miami. Together they formed a star-studded super team that instantly became the favorites to win it all. But building a championship team isn't just about star power. Miami's front office filled out the roster with savvy veterans like sharpshooter Mike Miller and defensive specialist Udonis Haslem, who had been with the team since the 2006 title run. They also brought in hard-nosed players like Joel Anthony and Mario Chalmers to fill specific roles around their stars. The Heat started the 2010-11 season under intense scrutiny. A slow 9-8 start led to media criticism and questions about the chemistry of the Big Three. But once the stars adjusted to their roles, Miami hit their stride. They finished the regular season with a 58-24 record, good for the second in the Eastern Conference. In the playoffs, they rolled past the Philadelphia 76ers, Boston Celtics, and Chicago Bulls, with LeBron dominating in the Eastern Conference Finals against Derrick Rose. The Heat entered the 2011 NBA Finals heavily favored against the Dallas Mavericks, with analysts predicting that Miami's athleticism and star power would overwhelm the older Dallas squad. But the series would prove to be far more competitive than anyone expected. Game 1, the Heat won 92-24 and Dallas looked outmatched. But in Game 2, Dirk and the Mavericks showed their heart. Trailing by 15 points with just over 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter, Dallas mounted an incredible 22-5 run to stun Miami and even the series. Heading into Game 4, Dirk was dealing with a 102-degree fever. He was visibly sick, but he wasn't about to let that stop him. Despite his struggles, he scored 21 points and hit clutch buckets in the final minutes to give Dallas the win and tie the series at 2-2. But instead of respecting Dirk's grit, Wade and LeBron mocked him. After the shoot-around of Game 5, they pretended to cough, insinuating that Dirk was faking his illness.
Oh, did y'all hear me cough? I think I'm sick.
Hey, this weather, man.
Weather is crazy.
It's hard to go from 85-degree weather and then go to 90.
I just thought it was a little childish, a little ignorant. You know, I've been in this league for 13 years. I never faked an injury or an illness before.
That disrespect, it lit a fire under Dirk and the Mavericks. Game 5 turned into an offensive showcase with Jason Kidd and Jason Terry hitting huge shots late in the fourth quarter. Dallas took a 3-2 series lead, and now they were just one win away from redemption. In Game 6, Dirk and the Mavericks didn't let up. Dirk started slow but took over in the second half, scoring 18 of his 21 points when it mattered most. Jason Terry was sensational off the bench, adding 27 points, and Dallas delivered the knockout punch with a 105-95 victory. Dirk was named Finals MVP, erasing years of criticism and solidifying his legacy. For Miami, the loss was a humbling experience that exposed their growth pains as a team. Dirk was so emotionally overcome that he left the court before the final buzzer. For him, this wasn't just a championship, it was redemption for everything that happened in 2006. When he finally returned to accept the Finals MVP trophy, there was no doubt Dirk had silenced the critics and cemented his legacy as one of the all-time greats. For Dirk Nowitzki, the 2011 Finals was the ultimate redemption, a career-defining triumph that silenced critics. For Dwyane Wade, the 2006 Finals solidified his place as one of the game's greatest competitors. Their rivalry is a testament to the highs and lows of greatness in the NBA.
How did you feel about me in 2006?
Well, there wasn't a lot of love there, I'd say. I think you took offense to, and I said we kind of gave them the championship, which I would have probably taken offense to.
What do you think? Does Dirk's revenge in 2011 overshadow his heartbreak in 2006? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us for more legendary NBA stories. Until next time, keep the game alive.